Okay. I'm Alex.
I'm Dave.
I'm Melissa.
And we made Concertch. And Concertch is a play on words with concert and search. So it's a search engine to find concerts and venues near you. All right. Technologies we used were HTML, CSS, jQuery, Ajax. The APIs was Google Maps API, which David worked on, and Bands in Town API. The Bands in Town API brought back a lot of information. You can search by band name or location, and it'll bring back. Let's see. Yeah, it'll bring back like a set of venues. It'll give you who's playing, where they're playing, the date, and if tickets are available. Yeah, and these are just two different divs that are returned. This one is if the ticket's sold out, it comes back red, and this one will come back green, which is useful to be able to like see like what tickets you could buy. Building the query URL for the Bands in Town API was probably the hardest part that I had with mine. It was just a lot of if statements, just checking what the user put in and what they left out, and then from there, building, like at the very bottom, it's going to spin. That was the hardest part of building that for mine. And I'm going to hand it to David. He'll talk about the maps.
Okay, so my portion basically consisted of constructing the maps. For that, we used a couple of different things. First, we wanted to use the user's location so that instead of inputting a city and a state, they could just click on Use My Location, and it would use the coordinates where they're currently located. And that's useful for a lot of things locally, as well as if you're traveling, if you're on vacation, and you're in a big metropolis like Los Angeles, which has a large radius, but you want to just see things closer to you, you could just hit My Location, and it'll search by closer to your own coordinates. So in order to do that, we used HTML, the geolocation, to get the user's coordinates, as well as the maps geocoder to translate those coordinates into something that's usable by the Bands in Town API, because it had to use not just the latitude, longitude, but we had to translate that to the city and state as well for it to be used. This function that we have here, show map, is basically constructing each individual map of the venues that comes out. We use what Alex came out with from the Bands in Town API, and we're able to construct the map that way. We also use the info bubble instead of a marker on the map. It's a little bit easier to style, looks a little bit better when displaying the locations on the map. And Melissa will talk to you a little bit about the design process.
So we chose something simple and user-friendly. So if you type in the artist,
It might not be playing New York. Someone give us a good band that they like.
Brand new.
Brand new, okay. Write brand new and take out. And then take out Jersey City and New Jersey, because they're probably not playing there.
so
And then submit. Okay, so this is a search result for brand new. We didn't use a location, so because I don't know where they're touring right now. They're probably, let's see. So they're in Vancouver. So in Canada, I don't know if anyone wants to go to Canada to see brand new. But yeah, it returns 12 results back. Looks like tickets are available for all this. And you can actually click on tickets available, and it will take you to a site where you can purchase them directly from, which is this Ticketfly. And yeah, all these maps, these are generated whenever you click submit, and they show exactly where it is. Over here you have the venue name, the date, and yeah, if you
Yeah, everything's on one page, so it's really easy to use.
It's what is that called? A single page application. And it's responsive. So if you don't put anything, it'll clear it and say, please enter at least one field. So the use my location pulls up Jersey City and New Jersey. And this is who's playing around here right now. I don't know who Victor Caldron is, but he's sold out.
So if you're traveling and you just want to see some shows that are around you, you don't have to you could just put use my location and just see what shows are exactly around your coordinates. If you just traveling somewhere, or locally if you just want to see a show.
So yeah, it's pretty streamlined. It does like one thing, but I think it does it well enough to be usable. Let's go back to the slides, because I think we have one more. Okay. So for future add-ons, PayPal integration so that they could buy tickets directly from our site. I think that'd be like useful. It's mobile responsive up to an iPad size, but once you get a little bit smaller, this part down here kind of just overlaps each other, and I would like to fix that moving forward. And yeah, Facebook iTunes integration. Yeah, so integrating it with your Facebook or iTunes, like checking what music pages you've liked or what music you have in your iTunes, and then possibly like showing you like where they're playing around you or wherever you are. Yeah. Anything else?
So, quick question. So, when you put that tickets available, how are you? Is that just a single API it's grabbing it from, or
Yeah,
the master and stuff as well?
It's just the Bands in Town API.
Okay.
I'll pull it up. It returns back. It was actually really simple. It returned back a value that said tickets available, and it was either available or unavailable. And I just checked that value and said if it was available, make this div and append it here, and then give it a link. The Bands in Town API also returns a link to buy it, so it was like all right there in that API, which is useful.
So it's not like always ticket flag, just be whoever's selling the
Yeah,
tickets.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, like right here, like response.ticket URL, and this was the ticket status.
So, who was your project manager, and how did you like delegate who did what?
I think it was pretty,
Well,
There
we
was-
had to use he had to come out with the data that we can all use. So until that was constructed, we couldn't move on until like we received all the data necessary.
I made kind of like a framework just to
all
work
worked on
in,
it.
and then finish my part to where it was manageable so that David could take the coordinates out and then build the map. But I don't want to say any of us were project manager.
It was collaborative.
Yeah, collaborative. Teamwork. That's a good question. I would say the advantage over ours is that it's kind of more straightforward. I feel like on Ticketmaster, and then there's another site that's very similar to this. What is it?
StubHub?
StubHub. Yeah, StubHub. This, I feel like it has a mobile feel to it. Like if we made it into like a mobile app. Yeah, I don't know. I think ours is pretty cool. But
Can you
yeah.
show us the responsiveness measure of it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It shrinks, but these things at the bottom kind of fold over each other. Like that menu needs to not do that, and then this doesn't, because these are like two separate divs. The maps, and then the like card type things. I didn't like design a way for them to fold over each other. If that makes sense. But yeah, that's about as responsive as it gets right here. About that size.
All right, cool, great job, guys.
Cool.